candidate for United States House in the 13th District, so the bulk of Pinellas County. Unless you live in downtown St. Peter, south side, if you live in Pinellas, you're probably in my district. Some of you may remember who I am. I ran in the special election and got drug kicking and screaming back into it for November, so here I am. One of the things I was doing before I ran was I was running a not-for-profit for youth engagement, and one of the big things that they wanted to target was military budget and why the hell we spend so much money in places we don't want to be spending it. So I got the fun and honor of reading the last two military budgets. If you guys have never done it, I highly suggest you don't, because it's terrible. And well, one of the things we found was every single time we do a cut as a federal government, it's always from you guys and never from literally anything else. If we have to cut the funding, we shuffle it out of Veterans Affairs, we shuffle it out of current pay, we shuffle it out of benefits, literally anywhere that we can from people, and put it into major projects, half of which we don't end up using. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with some of the new planes we have grounded out somewhere in the desert, several tanks that we ended up never doing anything with. One of the things that had me target my first opponent was Congressman Gian, was a story about we had people out in Iraq that wanted new bulletproof vests with Dragon Steel, and instead we sent them tanks that actually didn't work in the desert. That's what they got instead of bulletproof vests, because the funding came out of a company that really wanted to sell tanks and didn't sell jackets. So when we started targeting that, we started looking at where the cuts were. You guys make up the smallest portion per percentage of the totality of the DoD budget, literally the itsy bitsyest bit, and always take the largest hit. One of the things that we've proposed and that we're planning on pushing, regardless of we'll win in November or not, is contract restructuring. We need to be honoring our contracts with you guys, and we also need to be finding better ways to buy the stuff that you guys need. No one is saying that we don't need to be buying stuff for our military. We need to have, and I agree with this wholeheartedly, we need to have the best army, military on the face of the planet. We just don't anymore. We're falling behind technologically, yet we're spending more than everybody else. That's because our contracting is an absolute nightmare, and you guys are paying the price for it, not getting the benefits that you were promised. I graduated high school in 2004. A lot of my friends that went into the military ahead of me graduating came home, either busted up or didn't come home. These are the guys that did some of the first pushes in Iraq. The guys that talked me out of enlisting actually came back and told me some of the stories. They're not getting what they were promised. And the company that I work with, I'm a commercial diver by trade, we get a ton of guys that are either combat veterans or are still active service and are transitioning home. They do our training, which is only about 6 months to a year, and they become commercial divers. And I've been on the office side fighting to get their school paid for, fighting to get their medical taken care of. These guys are 50 better disability that aren't getting the treatment that they were promised. So we've been working diligently on how we fix the way that the military spends our money, how contracts are doled out. Currently we have open contracting, which means that anybody's buddy can submit a contract and it goes to their favorite senator or congressman, and that's generally how they get picked, the name on the top of the sheet. Florida tried for a little while switching to blind contracting for major projects, which means just the price, the product, that's it, nothing else. And products are picked based on cheapest and best. We want to switch the military to that. We want to get the best equipment out to our guys in the field. We want to make sure that we are utilizing our money and our resources as best as possible to make sure that you guys are taken care of and make sure our guys in the field are taken care of. That's one of the biggest things that we're working on. Obviously, we're also targeting tax reform and several other key major issues. Not going to eat up a whole bunch of time on a full stump speech, giving them anyway.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.